Black Friday is approaching and you can buy more stuff and things, or invest in your sex life instead with Beducated. Beducated is the leading platform for pleasure-based sex education for adults. Whether you're single, in a relationship, or exploring your own desires, Beducated is a safe space for everyone, regardless of your sexual orientation or gender. Beducated brings pleasure-based sex education right to your bedroom with over 100 online courses from the world's top experts. Join now with 65% off. That's only $69 a year. Use code SAVAGE69 and go to beducate.me/savage69 to get the biggest discount of the year. You're listening to After Action Report at Savage.Love.
After Action Report.
Welcome to After Action Report, a spin-off from my main show, the Savage Lovecast. Here I interview people who've tried something new for them for the first time and want to share about it. This week I'm talking with Milo, who tried nipple torture. Let's hear about it. Milo, welcome to the show.
Hi, Dan. Thanks for having me.
So who are you? Give us the brief bio. Who's Milo?
I am a 29-year-old trans-masc non-binary person. I live in London. I teach maths to the children who don't want to learn maths. Yeah.
That would be
me.
almost all the children who have to learn maths. One or two exceptional children who love maths, but most kids hate maths. So what is it that you did? What's the new experience?
So I came back to nipple torture, having had a couple of years break from it after having top surgery and losing some nipple sensation and having nipple sensation change.
Okay, so let's back up then to before the top surgery, when you were first experimenting with or enjoying nipple torture, which just that expression is probably alarming some people out there. Can you describe what you mean by nipple torture? People talk in gay land and gay kink land about tit torture. They use the abbreviation TT. And for people who aren't familiar with kink play, they imagine something, I think, more severe or more gruesome than what people are actually referring to when they talk about nipple torture or tit torture. What do you mean? What is it that you enjoyed when you first got into it?
Sure. Well, I started off with kind of regular nipple stimulation and touching, and kind of built from there into pinching and twisting and slapping and hitting and into pegs and clamps.
I gotta say, as a person myself who really enjoys nipple stimulation, my tits are, as they say, wired. If I were an assigned female at birth person, if I were trans or non-binary and I wanted to get top surgery, nipple sensation is so important to me that I would hesitate just for that reason, for the fear of losing sensation. Was that something that you took into consideration when you were considering top surgery?
Absolutely. It was a huge consideration for me. And I spoke to a couple of different surgeons, one of whom does a slightly different procedure to the norm. He leaves the nipple attached to a flap of skin is the best way to describe it, and then kind of tucks it under, rather than the sort of traditional method, which involves taking the nipple off and putting it back on again somewhere new,
which severs all the nerve endings.
It does, but remarkably they do reconnect, they do grow back. So I had the traditional kind of top surgery where they literally took my nipples off, they put them in little cups, and then they put them back on the correct sides. And I think I've retained 60 to 70% of my prior sensation, which is pretty awesome.
So the after action report we're getting here is not your first foray into tit torture or nipple torture, but your return to it. How long did it take you to get back to it?
So I tried it out last summer for the first time in about a year. It did not go very well for lots of reasons that weren't to do with nipple torture necessarily, and kind of left it there and parked it and came back to it kind of not on purpose. It wasn't planned, but it was can I go into describing it?
Oh yeah, please. You can tell us everything.
So I was having sex with a fuck buddy who I've been seeing for a while, about a year, and we'd already fucked a couple of times, and he was we were cuddling, and then he was kind of playing with my chest and I was like, oh, I can feel that, which like sometimes I can't. And I was like, oh, that's nice. And then he just kept going and like started twisting a little bit, and I was really enjoying it. And then he kind of kept going and kept like ratcheting up the intensity gradually, slapping, biting, and then he was fingering me, and I was having the time of my life. And at some point he put my vibrator in my hand and it came so fucking hard, and I was like laughing and screaming the whole way through it. And like after I came, I couldn't stop laughing for like 20 minutes. And I was like, this is really weird. I'm really sorry. And he was like, let it out. It's totally cool. Like, it's fine.
That must have been tremendously, I don't even know what word to choose here. Just, it must have felt amazing to have your nipples back. I keep wanting to say tits, but I don't want to like make a gender dysphoric comment, because that's what gay men call their chests. Gay men talk about their tits. Yeah. Like to have your tits back in the way that you used to enjoy them. I mean, imagine, tit torture after your nipples having been placed in a cup before being reattached to your body. You would have to work back up to that very, very slowly, very, very, very carefully. But to have them back, that must have been joyful. Like that's why you were laughing your ass off afterwards. That must have been just such a wonderful, thrilling, joyful experience.
Completely. Yeah. It was a relief I didn't know I needed, that I was like, it was something I was carrying that I didn't realize.
A lot of my standard like after action report questions don't seem to apply here. Like, what would you do it again? I think the answer is probably
hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. Is there anything you would do differently, or is there anything you're looking forward to doing now that you know that your tits are back online, wired again?
Yeah, I might see about like playing with clamps again. It's slightly tricky because my nipples aren't as big as they were before, so I think there's less to clamp. But yeah.
Well, in my experience, the more you use clamps on small nipples, the more nipples in the long run there are there to clamp. That tissue grows, and you get those pencil erasers that people talk about. Any tips for people who might want to try the kind of intense nipple torture, that word torture, people stumble over that word torture, but it's just kind of intense nipple stimulation. Any tips for people who are curious from a pro?
Sure, like with any kind of impact play, like starting with baby steps, starting with like some gentle like twisting and pinching, and like building it from there, communicating with your partner about what you like and what you don't like.
And finding somebody who's experienced at what it is that you want, the sensations that you want to play with. You can, of course, take baby steps with another novice, but playing with somebody who knows what they're doing and that knows that throwing a T torture word around doesn't mean you go from 0 to 60, but there's got to be a long, slow build there to test tolerance and appetite.
Definitely.
For a particular kind of sensation play. It's interesting you called it impact play. Clamps are kind of, I would say, it's not like flogging, more like a slow motion kind of impact play, but it is impact play.
Yeah, and finding someone who can read your signals well as well, like read your body language, is very helpful too.
Whatever kind of sex you're having with whoever you're having sex with, and whoever you're having sex as, that is very important.
Hell yeah.
Milo, thank you so much for coming on After Action Report. And I think I speak for everybody out there listening when I say that we're thrilled that you're able to enjoy your new chest again the way you enjoyed your chest before you got your gender confirmation surgery. So congratulations.
Thank you so much for having me, Dan. It's been great.
That's it. Thank you, Milo. And thank you, listener, for listening. If you are a brave soul who tried something new and you want to share your story of that new sexual experience, write us at q@savage.love and use After Action Report in the subject.
After Action Report.